Well,
I'm a big
that's
too.
why
Wow.
that's why getting my genetic report was such a fucking big deal, dude. 23 years, 23 fucking years of effort to get it.
Really?
Yep. Remember when they were doing that Human Genome Project way back?
Yeah.
I was 21, and it was the last year I was going to be on my mom's insurance, health insurance. So they did every fucking possible test trying to figure out what the hell was wrong with me. That's how I found out I have Klinefelters, but they didn't call it Klinefelters back then. They called it like chimeric fucking whatever. They called it some chimeric some bullshit. But they also found out that I have that non-human genome. You know, it's not completely. It's just one chromosome, but still, you know. And then they sealed my records. So I've been trying to get them unsealed ever since, and I finally got the proof through Char's fucking genetics team because they found it too, and they were like, "Holy shit!" So I got it's right on there. You know, basically DNA unknown origin.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I've been trying to work so hard. I need somebody like the guy. Do you remember the guy that I can't remember his fucking name, but he's the one who who looked into Bob Lazar's story just like on a lark, and he found some shit. So I said, "Oh shit!" Kept looking, and he finally made this whole documentary. I'm trying to get his fucking
Mm-hmm.
attention because in 2014 they erased me just like Bob Lazar. Like anybody can do a fucking background check and see there are chunks of my life that are just gone. They're just gone, dude.
Well, you could always try reaching out to Bob Lazar himself. He's running an energy company out of Oregon.
Yep, I actually have a foothold for that. The guy's been trying to get me to talk to Bob Lazar for a while, but I don't think I can do it without losing my temper. So, you ever see My Alien Life podcast?
I don't believe I have, man.
Oh, dude, check it out. Check it out, dude. Cameron Logan, he's had some of the best guests over the years. Like he's had like Betty and Barney Hill's granddaughter on there. He's had Bob
Mm-hmm.
Lazar on there. He's had all of them. Me and him are actually friends. So, you know, he's been trying to help me out too. So he's trying to hook up something with Bob Lazar. He almost fucking called Bob Lazar while I was live on the damn show one night. He's like, "I'll call him right now. Why not?" I'm like, "Dude, because I don't want to talk to him. Why wouldn't you want to talk to Bob Lazar? Because I'm probably gonna chew his ass out." Why would you chew Bob Lazar out? Because I feel like he fucking stole from all of us. Once I can talk to him calmly, sure. But I feel like he had a wonderful opportunity and just fucking used it selfishly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dakota, if you had fucking definitively found an element that you could take a sample of that would solve all the world's energy problems, would you put it in your back fucking pocket and make your own private little thing, or would you take it to the fucking world, man?
I would try to get into the fucking world.
Exactly. Bob Lazar didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, and that's me being super fucking judgmental because, like, if I'd found it, I would like to think I'd give it to the world, like I did with my DNA. But that's more the zeros than I've ever heard of. So I don't know what I'd do. I don't want to be judgmental, you know. But
No,
yeah,
understandable.
Cam, Cam, huh? Oh, we're
No, I was just
live.
saying.
Shit.
Yeah.
I
Well,
should.
we're recording. It's not going out to anywhere
Oh,
right now.
okay. It says we're live. And you suddenly go, "Yeah, I'm single." What? Did I hear that
Yeah,
right?
I'm single. What?
You muttered something, and it was like it sounded like, "Yeah, I'm single," like you were talking to somebody in the comments.
No,
Well,
no, it's only record only right now, so it's not directly live. It's just saying that it's recording.
all right. So check this out. My dad's story is going to be crazy, and keep in mind I don't know the truth. I've heard from his cultists and whatnot. I've heard from him, but I don't know what really happened. I don't know if it worked or whatever. I do know he leaned into it my whole life, so whatever. But according to him and his cultists, he combined Golden Dawn rituals with fucking Masonic teachings, and that's how he brought me here. You know, and family is very big in the Masonic temple. You know, the Dunning family. There's a picture of my grandpa in the Edward Charles Dunning II, or no, the first. Sorry, in the freaking Sacramento. You know, so it's the family goes pretty far back with the Masons. I don't know if Grandpa was like a 33rd degree or 5th degree. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. So, but that's why when you said Masons, you know, the Masons are going to be gunning for us too on the Egypt thing, I was like, let them try. Been dealing with them for a while.
I see.
Yeah. So his idea was he wanted to summon a demon of music. So he did the one ritual that you're not supposed to do from Aleister Crowley, which is basically awakening a child in the womb, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he thought he'd summon a demon of music, and instead he got me. So that's why I've been embedded in the supernatural community my whole life. So I started doing stupid pet tricks to impress like producers and shit because he wanted to be the next Bob Dylan when I was like 4, 5, something like that. And now I'm 44. So,
You know, part of me wants to call out crazy bullshit, but
honestly, I think it was
that,
his crazy bullshit just taken to the nth degree. Like my whole childhood, whenever we would move to some new place, he would set up a cult. And like have your viewers, you know, check this out. Look up the Final Fantasy VII house cult, and that was his bag. You know, he'd convince people that they were the reincarnation of a fictional character. You know, his favorites were Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. You know, so he'd basically get a groupie and be like, "Oh, you're the real life Galadriel," and next thing you know, she was making pancakes in our house. So I don't know if he actually did this ritual. All I know is that he had his cultists convinced he had done this ritual. But knowing him, it could just as well have been some bullshit he made up while he was high, you know? What I do know is that I had to live with the ramifications of this my whole life, i.e., you know, being embedded in the supernatural community, my dad teaching me how to operate a fucking cult, you know, all that crap. So I never had a normal childhood. People ask me all the time, "Oh, I wish I had the experience you do." No, you fucking don't. You really, really, really fucking don't.
right?
I'm sure you get that too.
I mean, you know the show is Supernatural, right?
Mhm.
I get compared to those guys all the time. There's a point in time where people thought I was trying to rip off those episodes, and I was like, I've never fucking seen it. Then I actually
Well,
sat down and watched it. It's like, okay, yeah, I can see where you get it, but no, I fucking wish this was all make believe.
yeah. Well, dude, get yourself some armor and a weapon because eventually you're gonna find like a fan of the show that's gonna take that like kind of belief way too far. And when I was your age, it was Buffy. You know, I kept getting attacked as like people thought I was a vampire because I could do this healing shit. It's like, dude, I'm in the sun. What the fuck? You know? But in the 90s, that was really bad. You know, like people were claiming to be Highlanders, they were claiming to be vampires. It was like some kind of identity crisis. Worked out for me because I could hide with the Goths, but you know, the young people in the 90s, it's like something was missing and they were trying to fill it up with fiction. You know, like imagine if you met a guy today who said like claimed to be a real life Super Saiyan, you know, but then he didn't even know Kung Fu. It was like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? We'd get that. It's like I'm a real vampire master. It's like, dude, it's noon, and like, yeah, your makeup's real cool, but it's noon, and you're eating a cheeseburger. Can we save the role play for game night? Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I get so frustrated with like. I'm going to use Benny as an example because me and him are buddies, so it's all good. But people come up to me, you know, they're like, "Oh, well, I'm this and I'm that, and I can do this and that." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, buddy. All right, show me. You know, show me." And it's not because I'm an asshole, although I am an asshole. It's just because just so many fucking people throughout my entire life, you know, I'm the Archangel Michael. You must proclaim the world that I'm Jesus. Why do you think you're Jesus? I can talk to my dog. Dude, I just get sick of it, you know?
Yeah, figures you got to start talking shit about Benny, and that's when he pops back up.
Ah, the Benny summoning spell works.
That's what
Yeah, every time.
everybody said. Hey, I don't want to say anybody's doing any type of witchcraft. Don't be putting spells on me, man. But man, I don't know.
dude.
My devices just go nuts. It's like when I'm with the strange one that I took that light off behind me, man. That thing causes strange occurrences. I tell you. But tell me, do
One of
you
these
think?
days.
I don't. Hey, let me say hello to everybody. Hi, how y'all doing? I was on here, but my devices went. The phone fell on the floor. The cat ran out the room. The usual. I got
Yeah, that's
Dakota.
pretty
And,
typical for Baldwin
like,
Bonkers show.
of course, yeah. You got the lion up there, man. This, those two
This is
guys
Baldwin
right there
Bonkers.
is awesome.
Oh, no wonder you asked me. I'm bonkers, but I'm not bald. I might lend you some of my hair at some point.
Yeah, hair's
Get
optional.
it.
I have
Hey, well, I got half
of
of my hair somewhere else. They cut it right down the middle. I don't know why. That upsets me.
I think they call that a merkin.
God.
It took you guys a second.
Oh.
Miss Kathy was debating with somebody what is a real mohawk. I mean, the real mohawk was what the Indians had. I thought that's what the piece down the middle, but everybody's
Yeah.
calling a mohawk in Houston to cut this down here, like the bikers wear.
All right. Yeah, people associate that hairstyle with the Mohawk Indians because their warriors use that hairstyle. But then again, the thing is that the different tribes use that hairstyle to denote different things. So for everybody who wants to have a Mohawk to look tough, all I look at them and see is a slave girl. That includes you, Mr. T. Love Mr. T. Big fan of Mr. T, but I do not respect the Mohawk.
Oh no!
I pity the fool. No.
And I am a foo. And if Mr. T ever finds this out, I want you guys to know I did not go quietly, but he overcame me. We already know
He
Mr.
did
T
it.
would win. So,
Well, all you got to do is, just like they always shoot him up with something, throw him in the back of the van, throw him on an airplane, and send him out there. Man, they always did Mr. T some kind of way.
yeah, but I'm not a military specialist that can get away with that. And it's B.A. Baracus. I'll be in his show, so he'll kick my butt.
Wow. Well, like we was talking about before, since we're on the show now, I was always asked you about different type of conspiracy theories type stuff because it seems like, I mean, I'll let you explain how you got that type of information because you talk about the Galactic Federation. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and and the meetings that because I know Dakota speaks on them too, and like I said, I don't try to get off into things that I don't know about. Those things fascinate me. Along with I don't know some of you guys, know about gravity wells. Dakota and Daisy Tenponies was talking about gravity wells, and I was telling him that I understood what gravity. I was excited, you guys out there because, like I said, when I learned something, I'm like, oh, because my first fascination was like with black holes, and then I seen about two black holes don't come together, and I was like, just think about the magnetics and what that would cause. And then they talk about there's a universe that everything goes in reverse. I'm like, I can't walk forward straight. I can't do the police thing, let alone try to walk straight. But it's just so many things. Huh?
That's where tachyon physics comes in, and that's a lot of humans can't handle that.
Yeah, and that's part of concepts to understand. Like my friend Shauna, she's like, Benny, all that, I don't understand all that and how that affects. And I try to explain to him, well, it's going to affect us in the future. Because what we do now affects the future, in 50, our children's future. Because even they got these spacecraft that are generational craft that are set up for, the kids are going to be had and their kids are going to be had. They're going to explore out there and then come back. We ain't going to be here. Because of.
What's really going to bake your noodle, Benny, is how the present affects the past.
How?
Well, same way it affects the future, just in a different direction.
Well, I always have the concept that I think now you guys have me believing that we live in all three, the past, the common time, and the future at once. And some of the things that I've been kind of going through with the sounds that Dakota's revealing, and like what you were saying about what visited me, when I was doing that one, and it was like, and I told you it was like that African mask had blended through, and and I was talking to Dakota, and the feed just stopped, and all of a sudden, man, it's just so beautiful. I just put my head down and started crying. I was like, wow. I had never seen something manifest like that. Dakota told me, get
Imagine how
ready.
the poor shaman felt.
Woo.
Imagine that. He's back,
Yeah.
600 years ago in Africa. I saw this guy and he wore this thing. Oh my God. And he had these things on his eyes.
Well, there's no much to think. I'd imagine just the fear. It's like, you're going to bow, like, oh my God, you're going to bow the light itself. You're going to bow down and give reference to it. I mean, you don't have to call it God, but you got to call it something bigger than yourself. That's what I try to tell people. You don't have to label it God if you don't want to, but understand there's a lot of things that God created, or God's energy created, we should say. Because, I mean, I have new concepts after speaking with you guys, and that's amazing that, after speaking to some people that's, like you was talking about the Degrassis and the Ben Carsons and, what's his name, Stufalos or the Giorgio
Giorgio Tsoukalos.
Yeah, Mr. Tsoukalos, yep.
Aliens.
Yeah, I want to do your hair like Giorgio's, Cassidy. I want to get your hair.
Oh, my hair is way too long. My hair is way too long. You haven't seen it?
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
It's been
sticking out like right there.
Yeah, it's been a tail for a while because I've literally been too busy to brush my fucking hair. You know what I mean? I almost thought about shaving it like you, Dakota. But no, I have this hair down to my ass.
It's just.
If my hair goes down to my ass.
Because I wish I had the hair that long. No, I started losing my hair at the age of 11, man.
That's testosterone.
So I was like, fuck this shit.
Nah, you have you ever had your hormones measured? Because I guarantee you with that story and the other things, and with that kind of clicked in with the other things I know, I guarantee you have a higher than average estrogen ratio, but your increased testosterone ratio is causing your hair loss.
Hormone measurement. See,
what was that?
I think I need that hormone measurement.
Yeah.
To do that?
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be shocked how much the hormone levels affect your personality. Like going back to the time thing, the main reason why your species is stuck in a linear progression modality is all has to do with the fucking prefrontal cortex. Way too much calories are going to your prefrontal cortex. So you're stuck in this progression of like this linear progression. Even animals are stuck in linear progression.
Wow. So do you think we got stopped in evolution here, or do you think evolution is continuing as we go?
Evolution's in a current bottleneck. We're trying to get the planet out of that bottleneck. 11,000 years ago, the people that are your namesake introduced a virus into the human population. Your biologists know this now, but for the first part of my career, that was next level shit.
Are you talking about the Anunnaki? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because I try to get people to understand my name is through my fascination with the Anunnaki. It's not that I claim to be Anunnaki, God come down. I love earth, love. I'm a minister, so that's the association. But yeah.
Right. But a lot of people, though, they take what Zecharia Sitchin said and they kind of expand it. And a lot of people don't understand that the Anunnaki was the word for everybody, not just the, Nibirites or whatever you want to call them, or the Dracos, or even the Lyrans. The Anunnaki is everybody. Even humans are Anunnaki, believe it or not.
Right.
They're just from a much previous, immigration.
From the heavens we came. Yeah, we came from the heavens. Yeah, that's exactly right. I get so many debates being, with that name, Anunnaki. Well, the Anunnaki, they were not this color and that. I'm like, okay, here we go again. This one again. Goodness.
No, they all sorts of funky shapes.
Well, the only accurate description when it comes to this, I want to get this one out because this is actually important to the Ascension movement. The reason why there's a problem with so many different Anunnaki colors is because there's a fundamental misunderstanding between Western and Eastern cultures. Okay, like for example, Shiva, right? You always see him, he's painted blue, right?
Blue. Mm-hmm.
Shiva didn't have blue skin; he had brown skin. like everybody else in the area. They paint him with that because that's the only way that they can, or at the time rather, was the only way that they could express his aura, which was an electric blue, which is one of the reasons why I want to get Dakota's aura measured. Anyway, so it was the same thing with the Egyptian gods. You know, they like the old stories say the Egyptian gods had skin the color of the lily. So, like, you know, a lot of people, for example, the English Victorian Egyptologists, they were like, oh, well, that proves that the gods are white people. No. What color is the Egyptian lily, assholes? It's blue. Oh, hey. So if the Native Americans have blue skin gods, and the Hindus have blue skin gods, and the Egyptian have blue skin gods, and the Vikings have blue skin gods, maybe there's something to this blue skin thing, huh?
It might be something. Maybe, you know, they wasn't gang banging, so you know, it wasn't just the color. So
This
you
ain't
know, I
blood
don't
versus
think
Crip,
so.
folks.
Yeah, hey, you know. The Anunnaki was banging on, you know, Nibiru. That's why they got the Igigi. See, the Igigi was the other clique. Okay, I'm just kidding, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No. You're on a roll. Keep going, bro. Tell them about it.
yeah. I mean, but that's, you know, that's kind of really what it is, though. You know, when you look at it, you know, people don't know how to associate things like that to get the understanding on a lot of things, man. This stuff is really simple, some of it, and some of people just make it so complicated. You know, I mean, it is complicated. Don't get it twisted, because I mean, the way the universe is set up. I mean, I was doing like just looking at just how these stars are shining differently now. It's like you're getting like a brighter, you know, shine here. Even the moon is shining here. You know, shines brighter here in Houston here lately. I don't know what's going on up there, but you know, you see a lot of the helicopters moving around in the daytime here. So I'm not sure. That's why I said, what's the inside information, Cassidy and Dakota? What's going on up there in the Federation? Can you tell us?
Elements of the Federation are fed up with the situation, but the Federation as a whole is still trying to operate as if the Earth is what you would call in Star Trek lore a prime directive thing, you know, pre-warp civilization. Trouble is, Earth's not a pre-warp civilization by any stretch of the fucking imagination. You got busted back to the Stone Age, but, you know, I mean, the elements are still there, you know.
Right.
So
I was.
that's
I remember you
my
was.
interpretation. Though I believe Dakota comes from a different tribe.
Mm.
What's your memories? What's your take on
Dakota.
Nah, Cassidy's not too far off from bits I've been getting. Is that there's a lot of them that are physically getting frustrated with the fact that we're not moving as fast as we should be. There's some that are, you know, trying to be just give them a break. It's not all on them. It's not all on them. Then everybody's it's like, you just went down there and they all thought you were some demon trying to kill him when you were trying to, you know, patch Benny up so he didn't die. You know, just as an example.
That's hard.
Just,
a major part of the problem is that essentially it all boils down to the old technology. I mean, it's still here, but you guys won't use it. I mean, there's YouTube videos you can find like around, on, like, for example, United States soldiers breaking into like an old, you know, room or temple or whatever, and finding these like spheres or pyramids that have these crazy electromagnetic functions. You know, they'll make your phones go away, and they just think it's like, oh, well, look at that, it must be a magnet. Har har har. No, that's actually life support technology. It's just a matter of not being used. So part of the issue with some of the factions of EBEs, energy-based beings, is they don't understand that you guys, just because it's in your possession doesn't mean you remember how to use it. You know, hence the pilgrimage around the world. You know, specifically for a stop, Egypt. You know, the technology is still here.
Reminds me of that movie Prometheus, when they go up there and then they find that room where I guess he sits in a chair, and it's like he's trying to figure out the technology and how to work it, when all he had to do was think about it, you know, and you know, the mind technology.
Well, I don't think David was capable of interfacing with the psychic aspects. I think that's why he had to use the instrument. I mean, he was a robot. You know.
Right, David was the AI, wasn't it? Yeah, because they went on, him and the girl. You know.
Yeah, that's really the whole story of the entire alien universe is basically what's more dangerous, the xenomorphs or the AI, you know? And that's what
Well, that's
Prometheus
what I
was
don't
supposed to be all
understand.
about, but then they chickened out.
That's what I don't understand. Okay, the AI part of it. Now,
Mhm.
you was talking to Daisy about there's different type of energy beings that feed off of negative energy, or you said that emotional energy. There's one that feeds off the negative energy, one that feeds off of emotional energy, and I can see how that's possible because the different color spectrums of light, because light is energy, so the different color spectrums would have things that I would say that could get on you, that
Yeah.
could, because everything parasitic, parasitic is, it
Mm.
could come in liquid, or it's parasite. But, I'm not saying that that's complete, but just thinking about what you guys was talking about was like, wow, brain blown. I'm like, wow. So the energy, there's beings that suck off these energies. Now, I said that to say what Beck Birdie was talking about, the separation from the higher chakra and the lower chakras, where,
Right.
like, looking at the Ankh, where it has that circle and the cross, at the bottom, where the upper self
Mm.
and the lower self, where the conscious is in the upper self and the body's in the lower self. She says where there's a separation, where the conscious isn't attached to the physical self anymore. What do you guys think about that?
That's absolutely true. And
I mean, I don't.
if you go into Egyptian magic, they would tell you that a person's whole being is split up into 9 different parts. The first 2 are the Ba and the Ka, and that's basically your body and your spirit. Ba is kind of where we get the word body from. You know,
Mhm.
kind of like Thoth is where we get the word thought from. So yeah. Now the Ankh is an interesting thing. That is talk about a fundamentally misunderstood symbol. It's the reason why it's associated with eternal life is because it's not the symbol for eternal life. It's a symbol for the journey. Okay. Look at the Ankh right now. Look at it from the top down. You're looking at a sandal, bro. It's a
Uh,
sandal. It's an Egyptian sandal.
you know what it is?
Hmm.
Mhm.
The ankle part is the top. That's the loop. And then, bam. The Ankh doesn't mean eternal life or even associated life with life. The Ankh is associated with the journey, of which this life is just one tiny, tiny piece. When ultimately, once all 9 versions of yourself are explored, it is eternity. It is immortality. It is life. It is death. It is everything. So just remember
So,
it. What? Go ahead.
like I said, we do one at a time there. So that, what you say, the nine. So with that nine that you was just talking about, I couldn't catch the word. But
Mhm.
so, do you believe that we're the purgatory part is where I'm getting to? Is, do you believe that we're going to come back 9 times, or those
Mm.
9 different levels that we have to get each of those right before the next level can be gone to?
It's you got to get to each level right before your conscious self can experience those other levels, but they're already existing. The only realm that's affected by time as you know it is this one. I mean, outside of the combination of gravity and space as forces, time doesn't really exist. So like by the time your consciousness is operating on, say, the 3rd level by Egyptian reckoning, you're already beyond time. You're interfacing with past lives and future lives. You're interfacing with your higher self. You know,
So you don't think they use time as a concept of that, like how it takes like so long to get from here to the moon, so long here to Mars? You don't think like different type of ETs would use that time concept, or they would
well,
use like distance more than time?
why bother? I mean, let's take the Arcturians, right? Since you guys know or are most familiar with their technology. That's the
Mhm.
Arcturians. That's we were just talking about him and I can't remember his name. Bob Lazar. That's the Bob Lazar sports model. That's Arcturian tech, right? They don't make the journey from say, for example, Arcturus to Earth like you think. Okay, they're not using mass driver technology like you guys. Essentially, back home, the journey of that exact ship that Bob Lazar examined, right? It never really left Arcturus Prime. Okay, the pilots get in, they interface, they turn it on. The ship slips out of slips out of gravity in space. They make whatever harmonic adjustments need to be made, and then they slip back in on Earth. They haven't moved anywhere. You know, I mean, I've heard people call it space fold. That's not quite space fold. That's when you're folding space to achieve it. What they're doing is leaving gravity and space, making whatever adjustments they need, and popping back in whenever or wherever they need to. You see?
Hit. Where you say hit, like I always tell people when I'm doing a psychic reading, when I hit something that hits association, I say hit because it keeps it fresh. When I was telling you, I was looking at Pegasus and the Great Square, and it's those two triangles on each side. So it's a funny looking square, but that's how just a triangle looks because it's gonna have that other side. What made me think of it's like when the sun is on the other side of the pyramid, and it hits the shadow. They used to talk about there was different type of phenomena that would happen when the sun would hit the pyramid, and now they were showing, like I had it on my profile, where it shows that Sphinx, the hole, and it's lined up with the pyramid all up to the sky. And even in that picture that you see, and I've got on Pinterest, you could see the coronal holes making the square in the clouds. And that's what one thing that was concerning me is like that. They say the holes are getting bigger. That's one of the concerns and the solar flares that's coming off of it. Now, to talk on that with the Cosmic and the Federation, is that something that they warned about or talked about the reason that type of stuff is happening? Or are they making that happening? Or is there anything you can tell me?
That's just a side effect of climate change. This is going to be a little bit weird to understand, but a lot of those square holes are actually created by vortexes of vortexes. Believe it or not, it creates a square-looking apparatus. Very similar with the octagon on Saturn. It's created by hundreds and hundreds of vortexes all working together. Same thing in your own atmosphere. I mean, there was a time when you'd see a square in the clouds. Oh, okay, no big deal. All right, but weather patterns are getting more extreme, so the squares are getting bigger.
They are.
So that's not something they're doing, but it's a side effect of something they're trying to warn the planet about. Because climate change is a big problem, but it's not coming from where humans think it is. And there's actually, you want to talk conspiracy theories, ask yourself why all of the rich people in the world, right? They're talking about climate change, carbon, all that stuff. How come none of them have planted a single tree? Carbon's not the problem, folks. It's not. The problem with climate change is coming from the solar axiom. Now, carbon can become a problem, granted. But I mean, if we're talking about gaseous emissions, methane's a way bigger problem. And the elites want to say they're trying to fix that by reducing your ability to eat because cow farts. No. What's making the methane problem is all the various gas leaks, the fracking and crap. Literally millions and millions of tons of methane are being poured into the atmosphere, I think, per day right now, just from all the various cracks and leaks and leaky pipes. Methane is the climate killer, not carbon. They know full well what's going to kill the planet, and that's what they're trying to keep from you guys. Trouble is that the evidence is getting so problematic, rather, that people can see it for themselves. Like if you know how to read the NASA satellites, you can see it in the temperatures of the ocean waves. I mean, it's coming.
And they show the little graphs too. They show the temperatures and all that, but I don't know how to read all that. That stuff's so cool to me. Like looking at a real spaceship.
It's not that hard, honestly. You can teach yourself with YouTube how to read that stuff, But I mean, NASA outsourced their satellites to the public so that they could mass examine data, right? So that has left their satellites and whatnot open to a great deal of holes that people can see through. Like, for example, every once in a while, you will see something pull up to the International Space Station. It is obviously not human technology. And the cameras will shut off, 2 seconds in? Like they couldn't see, like they didn't know it was coming. People at NASA want this information out, so they're letting it out any way they can in tiny amounts. You see? So Anyway, examining the like coastal patterns and temperature patterns, you can see the effect the increased solar radiation is having on the planet. And more importantly than that, something that it hit the news for 5 seconds and then got immediately yanked. And I want all the listeners to hear this. They found the Jormungandr serpent. They know it's real. Now that's not saying there's a giant snake encircling the world ready to crush the planet at Ragnarok. All right, but the old skulls used to say that the Jormungandr would come at the end towards Ragnarok, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now put a pin in that. Now come over here, and what they found out is that certain types of the Skuld stones are actually usable. You can actually look through them and see magnetic patterns. Okay. Now, in response to the solar axiom, what has happened is an extraordinarily long and wide band of zigzagging radiation that is encircling the core of the planet. You can see it with the fucking skull stones. If you actually have if you have your home at home, if you have your hand on one of the real ones, look down. Okay. Even the ancients knew this time was a big problem. All right. So the Jormungandr has been found. It's a real phenomenon. That's not saying it's a real serpent, folks, but it looks with gravimetric scanners and whatnot like a freaking snake.
How big?
It's big enough to encircle the mantle of the planet. It's huge.
Oh,
yeah, it's huge. So you guys can find all this. Now they've done the powers that be have done their best to separate these facts, but once again, it's all kind of foretold by the ancients. And then once again, if you look at the modern scientists, the predictive models, for the mesosphere and the magnetosphere and all that stuff, predicted this kind of phenomenon during a EBE level, not EBE, I'm sorry, ELE level axiom. ELE is extinction level event.
So are we getting close to extinction level event?
It's upon us on the geological scale. It's here. There's 3 of them. Number 1 is the asteroid Apophis. Look that guy up. They're keeping it as secret as they can, but they recently found out it's hitting on its next cycle around. Then you got the solar axiom, of course, and then they also, on top of everything else, we're right in the middle of a barrel of gamma radiation burst. So yeah,
those are the ones I worry about.
Yeah, those are to worry about.
Those turn you into Incredible Hulk.
No, no. A gamma radiation burst. Dr. Tyson will talk about it if you look him up. The gamma radiation bursts are the single most destructive force known to science. They've been known to wipe out galaxies.
Right, they rip through and tear up and keep going.
And Earth is right in the middle of one.
Wow.
There's not a damn thing they can do about it. So really, on all 3 of these, it boils down to Egypt. The ancients had the technology to prevent these things. I mean, just ask yourself, if the solar axiom thing happens every 10,000 years or so, and humans go back 2 million years, that's a lot of solar axioms you guys survived. So
you said a few dates there. You just, I told you I want to pick your brain. There's so many things I want to ask you. The Nibiru coming back. Everybody
won't be back for another 3,000 years.
That's what I wondered. Did we miss the time? Because it's supposed to be 3,600. Did we miss the last? And what happened in the last when they came?
Well, Nibiru came into the solar system in 2016, exactly when Zachariah Ascension said it would. You guys can go back to like Secure Team 10 and various like UFO Watch YouTube channels back in 2016. There was a phenomenon, this double sun phenomenon. You could see the damn thing from the surface of Earth. Okay. So it came in on the exact angle the Sumerians said it would, came in the exact year the Sumerians would. And just like the Sumerians said, it left harmlessly because this is not a Tiamat cycle. Trouble is people get so enamored with it, they can't accept that it's gone. And it left in 2016. It's gone. But what I've been learning recently is that humans are calling everything that comes into the system a Nibiru. Like Nibiru is a classification of things instead of an individual thing.
Like it's just classified as anything they couldn't figure out, Planet X, anything, asteroids too big, down class and up class. And I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, there we go, rewriting history again.
it's like wearing a T-shirt that says "My name is Dracula and I am a Twilight." I mean, it doesn't work. There's only one Nibiru.
I'm a Twilight. I'm so happy and bright. Okay, never mind, guys. I'm feeling good. My stitches are coming out. Yeah, I'm
No, it's all
feeling
good,
good.
bro. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Nibiru won't be back for 3,000 some odd years. By that
here's a
point,
good question. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, by that point, it won't matter. We'll be off of this planet. So if it is a Tiamat cycle, we've still got nothing to worry about.
Well, that that most people think that that the Egyptians, the clues that they left is for the common man. That the Sumerian, that was for the Egyptian time, and I tell them I don't believe so, because the Sumerians were so ahead with their multidimensional art that it was
Sort
set
of.
up for all man. And it's like I believe that the finds that are being found, just like they say with ascension, that you find them in certain times of man. It's like the old finds we had, and then they wrote history. Now we find this. Now the Sumerian tablets. It's like, okay, we keep changing this. When they gonna run out of things to find? They got to find Antarctica. Oh, what's the other thing underwater? I can't even think right now. Antarctica.
Atlantis.
Yeah, Atlantis. And then when they find Atlantis, oh, that's the end story. But they could keep
No.
finding stuff. Hmm?
Well, the thing is if this is done correctly, then the knowledge that will pour forth from the pyramid will answer a lot of that.
Yes, and
For
that's what's
example,
supposed to
Gobekli
happen.
Tepe. Humans don't
Mm.
realize this, but a complete record is held at Gobekli Tepe. You just have to understand how to access the stones. For the most
Wow.
part, the only one of your species that can do it are people with the gift of psychometry.
Psychometry. That is a new
Yeah,
word to me. What is
that's
that?
what it's when you can touch an object and you can sort of feel and see or sense its past, future, things like that. Truly gifted psychometrics, whatever. Truly gifted psychometrists can basically hop from one thing to another. So, like for example, you pick up a gun that was owned by Wyatt Earp, right? So the psychometrist can see what happened when it was in Wyatt Earp's
When
hand.
that gun was right, when
Right.
it was used, yeah, I
Right.
understand that concept. It's
So
pretty
that's an
cool.
initiate. That's an initiate psychometric, and an adept psychometric can then hop from the gun to Wyatt Earp, then to say Wyatt Earp's hat, to the Wyatt Earp's hat's previous. So you see what I mean? They can hop around. They can jump from object to object.
Do
And then
y'all ever feel objects jump out of your hand sometime? Like
yeah,
just
put on
certain things
gloves.
that
Yep.
no, it's just like the some just magnets, like I'm having weird things happening to me, Cassidy. That's why I'm like, have you guys had this stuff happen? Like I said, I've been doing more of the frequencies and different. I tried this one. I did a combination. I was thinking about Stephen Greer, so I do Tai Chi for beginners as a visual stimulant, and then I used it was the frequencies with opening up the pineal gland and that.
Right.
So I was having Christina look at the Tai Chi and listen to the sounds. So it was pretty good. I mean, I came out, I had, good sleep afterwards and good exercise the next day. Cause I exercise using my pole and different things. That's my martial arts stick. You choose three to
See,
get your black
that's the
belt, but
thing that bothers me. You guys are such competent and amazing explorers, yet you find a piece of technology and stop at step one.
right. That's why I'm like, it's time to keep going. That's why
Exactly.
I'm ready for, yeah, it's time to
So,
investigate.
Dr. Greer, his shit is good. Like he is legit. All right. Me and Dr. Greer have
Mhm.
actually had some correspondence. I'm hoping that this whole thing can lead to that. But Dr. Greer's shit is good. But
That'd be
imagine
awesome.
what you'll be able to do with that when you're in full possession of your cognospace.
The healing.
Healing, whatever you want. I mean, what is it you want to do with your energy? Personally, that's my
Healing.
answer. But I'm a healer. I'm a doctor
Yeah.
back home. So it's what I like to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's what
And
makes
that's
my
where,
soul
like,
sing.
yeah, and that's where, like, when Dakota was saying that, his concept is like, because of all the negative that we've been through the last couple of weeks, you know what I'm talking about. No need to bring up that. But
Thank you.
he was thinking about let's heal, and that's why I was like, well, yeah, because you guys showed me how to heal with, heal me with the frequencies, the conversations, the awareness. So that's where we was like, okay, yeah. I'm like,
Right.
I'm mangling. I'm not a minister no more. I feel like I'm a shaman in training. That's what I told Bradley. I was like, because it's a whole new concept and a whole different ways that I can heal without just trying to bring in Jesus' name,
Well, if you want to
and
explore shaman, if you want to explore the path of the shaman, we're going to have to talk.
we will. And I look forward to it, sir.
So,
'Cause
despite
I've been a
popular
knight.
despite popular belief in the rumor, I am a legitimate, recognized by the Lakota people and the United States government. I have the training, I have the experience.
I believe
So
you,
yeah,
and I won't. Yes, sir. I believe you.
but yeah, so it just like I said, imagine what you'll be able to do when you are in full possession of your cognitive space. And that's a lot of people try to use like tones and DMT and sometimes in some cases like meth and coke, and so they'll try any method they can to
Yeah, the
expand
unlock
into
it.
their cognitive space. Yeah,
Exactly.
but it's not. The trouble is, people. I'm going to get a little spiritual here, a little shamanistic.
Come
So
on.
forgive my language. The trouble is, people try to go without, and that's not the key. The key is to go within. So I tell everybody the
Inner
same
self.
thing. When you start learning about magic and light work and stuff, don't try to get superpowers. You'll never get superpowers if you're trying to get superpowers. Learn about yourself. Your superpowers will present themselves. And that's even
That's
in the Bible.
absolutely right. True. Know thyself. Even in Egypt, that's true because, like I said, my near-death experience had something like that. Just to make it real short, it was like God was holding me by my leg and holding me out, and He was like,
Nice.
"What's your name?" So I was like, "What's my?" So I said my nickname. I'm Kid. He's like, "Help me out further," and I'm dangling like a baby with my leg hanging
Please
out
tell me
there.
you said Kunta Kinte. Please tell me you said Kunta Kinte.
Kunta Toby, no.
God would have laughed his ass off. Like, all right, that was a good joke, but what's your name?
No, but I said Benny Trenton, and I woke up in the hospital, and that was when my appendix busted. And I told you I laid down because I had liver cirrhosis. That was my first near-death experience. I was
How
like,
many have you had?
wow. This last one, I consider that one a close. So I call it two. That one, the other appendix wasn't as close to near death. I mean, not appendix, but the hernia. But this last hernia, the one that everybody said that you sent my testicles around my head and into the galaxy and back here.
To the
But
moon, Benny.
to the moon.
To the wow.
They just came back. See, Dakota just got them back. He airmailed them. Cassidy didn't do anything with them. He just mailed them back to me. He found them in another dimension and got with Dakota, and they got them
Dude,
back to me.
I was
So
already working on a healing with you because you had already asked me for help. So it's like,
yes, sir. You know what you
so
did. That's why that was so
so
amazing going through that, man. Looking back at it, man, you guys
so
really helped
so
me, man.
here's the
That
thing,
was,
Benny. Here's the thing. I'm gonna borrow a line from one of my favorite movies. Okay.
come on.
Prepare yourself, Mr. Policeman. These events are dread, truly dread. You need to prepare yourself. The third trip is always a reckoning.
Wow.
Prepare yourself. You'll
See,
be all
that's why
right.
I was kind of screwed.
Prepare
That's why
yourself.
I've been telling myself. I'm like, the third one, I might not make it, man. Because this
No, you'll
last one,
make it. You'll make it, but prepare yourself. Be ready
it
to
did.
accept the truths.
I really, like I told you, when I was in the hospital, I seen the doctor look like Dakota, and then I could hear Sherry saying, "Relax, Benny," like that. And then that's when I relaxed my ab. The doctor got up there, pushed it through, and then I was knocked out.
I've been
God,
thinking
I
about
was
that.
like,
I've been thinking
yeah,
about that because you're wearing a pharaoh. You're wearing fucking Pharaoh Tutankhamun's face on your chest. Like your boobies are looking at me through his eyes. You know what I mean? So you said in what you saw, Dakota came, but his nose was all picked up like somebody was pulling him up. Well, Thoth is an ibis.
who's the other one here? That's Thoth and
It's Horus and Anubis.
yeah, Horus.
Yeah.
That why does Horus look like that thing looks like it could just like in that movie Stargate, how it
Because
just
Horus
looks
is
like
a warrior.
Mhm.
Man,
Horus is a warrior.
I love Horus. And this beetle thing, that's what's kind of been bugging me about these bugs. It just seems like the bugs lately, since I've been doing the sounds, the bugs have been just like they come in to hear something or something. I think the frequencies
Yeah.
attract, you know,
Well, they
and the
do.
cats, because the cats be tripping. My cat is like, he'll
Okay.
start meowing and singing
All
and
right.
stuff.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Okay, so what you have on your shirt there is a scarab. Scarabs are an extinct species of dung beetle. Right now, the reason why this is important and the reason why scarabs are holy is because each species of dung beetle focuses on a different star or celestial body. Some dung beetles focus on the moon. Some dung beetles focus on the sun. Scarabs focused on, I believe, the Sirius constellation, I think, and so they were considered holy. And so people like collected them until they went extinct. But they use that each dung beetle uses their chosen constellation or whatever to navigate their whole life, and it's the whole species, not the individual.
I kept thinking about a connection with a dung beetle and these cockroaches. Because these cockroaches don't die in microwave
Not a good
radioactivity.
association.
I'm like, is the dung beetle like that? Is a scarab
Not even
like a
close.
dung beetle, like a roach? Not even close.
No. They're radically different subspecies, families, whatever. Basically, scarabs are a form of beetle. Roaches are their own classification. There's many different kinds of roaches, but beetles are their own thing, and beetles are way more fragile than roaches. That's one of the reasons why the scarabs are extinct. Is because they were too fragile. They couldn't handle being kept.
Like everybody says, octopus is really a foreign, some from a different. That's what I think about these roaches. I'm like thinking of Men in Black, how that alien was coming and he wanted to eat roaches all the time. I'm like,
Dude,
what's with it?
not to give you the heebie-jeebies, but if anything, the roach is the native and you're the alien.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
They want to eat me. I feel like it.
They'll eat anything. Octopi are a whole different thing, man. I need more information. I need to talk to some of the other light workers. Any starseeds or anyone out there that remembers a species called the Silurian. Basically, you'll remember brilliant blue, crazy evil intelligence. There's a theory that your octopi here are actually some kind of like a Silurian advance colonization, because their genes are so weird, dude. They're so weird.
Right. Yeah, because I'm the octopus and what's the other one that it is octopus, but it has a different name?
Squids,
Octopus,
cuttlefish,
squids, yes,
nautilus.
squids. Yeah, because I had like some squid sushi. I mean, had that thing. It is the gummiest.
I can't.
Ugh.
I can barely eat pork. Sapiens is not a good taste, except for pork. But that's because they taste like humans.
I don't want to tell you my pork story. I got called back to pork. I came out of prison talking about, I wasn't going to eat pork. I was tough then. And all did the pork chop on the ground, turns, it had the maggots that come out it. But then somebody made some smothered pork chops and all of that stuff went out the window. I was back on pork like, man, look here, give me some bacon and want some scrambled eggs, put some cheese on it. Yeah, I was back. Yeah.
Hungry.
I had to give up my Muslim name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. This is the truth, the whole truth, and that's what we seek. But brother, I can't. What was the name? I was because it was through the Moorish Science Temple. So everybody is a Mo or Al, I believe it is. So I was brother Al. Trent Al, Trent L, E-L. So
son of Jor-El.
When you eat pork, you have to give it up. So I had to stop calling myself that of one of my many names that I went through.
Honestly, I respect them for foregoing pork. You know why, and you know what, the history and whatnot. Yeah, I wish.
But I heard it's all meat. All meat, I've heard, is just you're not supposed to really eat it because especially with the the stuff they're adding to meat now to blow everything up, the steroids and stuff.
Well, if God didn't want you to eat meat, He should have given you an extra 40 feet of intestine.
Yeah.
Man, look, I need another 40 feet because I don't know how much I got left. When you get older, do your intestines shrink or something? Do they get smaller? Because
There's a
you as a
number of
person get
conditions.
smaller. Huh?
Yeah, there are a number of conditions, but mainly it's dehydration is what'll do it. But there's a number of things that can ossify your intestines. That's why I smoke so much. Basically, like I'm suffering from some very severe abdominal issues in the organs, and it's the nicotine's the only thing keeping the intestines moving. So they're bad things that can happen.
I can understand that because when my mom was dying, I mean, because her insides was deteriorating, so it's like because that's what it says she had rheumatoid arthritis, cirrhosis, and nerve damage, and in the end lupus because lupus always takes over near the end. So her fingers was like so I would always have to, even when she was at home, I would put the cigarette in there, make sure she didn't drop it. And that's how I started smoking cigarettes because I would just smoke Black and Milds back then. This is in Kansas City. So that's how, most of, my friends that this reaches to in Kansas City, hey, KC, Royals, Chiefs, the whole nine.
We buy Black and Milds and use the wrappers for joints.
Yeah, we used to cut them open, but they used to have that little lining on the inside. Nobody that lining, so that's why when they made the new Milds and the Apple Milds, everybody went to them because the old ones they give you a headache. That's how even them and Cool cigarettes. That's where they made the Cool Blue. It's just a milder one. It's like with Newport. Newports are, I don't want to say the word that they put in the pipe and fire it up that melts down and all that, but Newports is like that.
Oh yeah. You're talking about the old rumor that they used to put heroin in the fucking cigarettes.
Yeah, and they put like crystal. They used to say that there was crystal in the Cools. That's why it was like your heart.
Dennis Leary does a whole bit about that.
Yeah, but like my aunt used to smoke Cool. You can taste it in a Cool green. I can still taste that. For one, I smoke Marlboro Black Menthol Short. So that or Newports if somebody else buys. I mean, Newports cost $10.25 here in Houston. No, thank you. I'm cheap. I'm a minister. I smoke. If you want to send me any cigarettes, feel free to talk to Dakota. He'll just send me through the Time Warp. Yeah, I used to. See, that's what used to be cool. When I first was 17, went through the joint, they used to push it under the doors in prison. They get it top and bugler. They used to push boxes up under there just to keep everybody calm. But then they stopped doing that. That's why everybody, can't go to trial without getting shanked. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't know.
They have to.
I'm just saying these are jokes, y'all, but I'm telling the truth a little bit too. I'm sorry.
I just noted. I was just about to make a comment about how they, with the prison system and the mental health system. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they've been creeping it up in the draconian system. Oh, dude, you're probably gonna fucking. I don't know if you're either gonna be mad or not.
Come on, give it to me.
My dad told you before. I told you guys before. My dad was in the music. He was trying to be a rock star. He never got anywhere, but he did his damnedest. But he used to take me everywhere because he wanted me to learn how the entertainment industry works. I got stuck on Nintendo. So I was there. I was actually literally there on one of the meetings they had when they were inventing basically gangster rap, and they were talking about how they were getting money from the prison industry, and the whole thing was the whole fucking thing was it was a deliberate attempt to separate black fathers from families. And they were in that meeting just crowing about it, how they were gonna. Oh my God, it was filthy. Yeah. And my dad was like, "Son, you remember this shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you better believe it." Yeah. Because like now you get like not Dr. Dre, but like some of those old school gangster rappers, they're starting to come out now and say that too. And I'm like, I fucking told you guys, because everybody thought it was full of shit all these years,
Yeah, Dr. Dre was part of NWA, even though before that he was with the World Class Working Crew. So when him and Eazy-E separated, that's what Eazy-E tried to roast him because when they in World Class Wrecking Crew, he has on his tight sequence outfit, and that was just it was a slow song group because Dre really wasn't from Compton, but he moved to Compton. You know what I'm saying? But that's what they said. Everybody be telling the story as it goes, but he's still one of the. Like I said, he sold
Right.
beats to somebody for damn near $1 billion. You doing all
Nice.
right, if you ask me.
Right.
But what I don't understand is how Kanye got ahead of Jay-Z in the billions, because Jay-Z got to some billions. I think it was Yeezy that got him ahead, but Kanye's always been controversial for when he did the thing with Taylor Swift at the
Right.
awards. And
Now,
that's really what kind of took me away from him, because, without
yeah.
being racist, and I wasn't a minister then, but that offended me. Because, I've been, like you said, in the rap industry with Mass 187, which is already a controversial rap group with Little Troy, Wanna Be a Baller, Shot Caller,
Yeah.
187 Thugs. Yeah, that's my real family and crew from Kansas City,
Right.
because that's why I'm here in Houston. So,
Now,
that's what I'm trying to tell people, that, this is real me, man. That's
from
187.
what
I'm
I
not going to throw up any signs.
from
Huh?
what I can tell, and this is just based on observation and understanding music and how it affects people. I think what
Hmm.
Kanye did is he tapped into white people's desire to tap into black culture. And since that's where, let's be honest, that's where
Right.
most of the
And
money
then
is.
you got the fascination of Illuminati with the rap industry and
Right,
the
which
and the
he
music
just played on.
industries. Oh yeah, you're right there with Jay-Z, and everybody think him, and he'd have been through time about 6 to 7 times. So, it's just that building that audience. And then
Yeah.
he goes and has the stage again, just like with the Taylor Swift thing, and runs his mouth too much. And I'll say it, I hope this goes, because I tell you, Kanye, because for some of the rappers out there, that just puts, once again, that's like how Will Smith going up there smacking Chris Rock. And we do so much to try to get further as a people. And we complain a lot and talk about some of the chances that we get. And then we go do stupid stuff like, even disrespecting people by, trying to even introduce, a new way of your thinking or a
Right.
new concept. It might be true, but still, there's been books and years and wars and all kind of stuff that's been fought over some of these subjects, that people that are new to them or
Yeah.
coming at things that are thousands of years old of philosophy that some of these people follow. So
Yeah.
that's why, even, like I said, that's why I love talking to you guys, because even understanding things above will get you to understand things on earth a little better. Because it's still, like I said, like you tell me all the time, what's above is below. That's what I think the pecking order of man is. I
Right.
think it is. It's supposed to be common man. Then you got servants of different kings. You got, okay, hold on, let me say it correctly. Now, nowadays, you have slaves, you have the common men, you have the emissaries, you have the kings, you have the god kings, you have the lords, you have the Lord gods, you have the gods, and then you have the Almighty God, creator of all.
Right.
See, and that's what they said, that in the Bible, that you only hear about the Almighty in the beginning
Okay.
and in the
Can
end.
I
When
can I
he gets that,
can I interrupt
please,
for a second because I gotta go. But you tap on something
please.
very, very important, and I want to get to that. By the in the list in the order that you listed, right? The God King.
I'm a mute.
Okay,
I'm
the
gonna
God King.
listen. I'm a mute.
See, the word for the word that's used for God, for associated with a God King, is a word called Ishim, and that's where all these mystics and light workers and whatnot, they're trying to get to that Ishim point where reality obeys you. You don't have to cast spells anymore. Reality simply obeys. The trouble is, all these people want to be Ishim, but they don't want to understand themselves. They don't want to go in. They don't want to figure themselves out. They don't want to. They don't want to heal their trauma. They don't want to fix things with their own life. They don't want to go out and add to society. The path to the God kingdom is within, not without. You know, and if we can hold hands while exploring within, we have got this as a people. we've done this before. We can do it again. For all of you guys out there who remember the Tiananmen tank man getting squished by a tank, we have done this before. We'll do it again. And that's all I got to say. Now I got to go eat pizza. All right, thank you for having me on the show.
That's what I had there. No problem, man.
You're awesome, Cassie Lightwing. Thanks for coming, man. Hey, we'll finish the conversation anytime you want, man.
Yeah.
Look, you guys, you two blow my mind, man. You're the shit, man, and you don't stink.
Yeah. Oh, I stink. Trust me. I smell like a wild animal. It's annoying.
I probably stink right now. My stomach not doing so hot.
Well, that's a little bit of the move to boogie. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Your trip to Egypt, I want to get on that, man. So, hey, I'll put me in the luggage.
We're still getting it put together. We'll talk more about it later, though. Talk to you later, man. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir.
Bye.
All right, speak.
Speaking of Egypt, I was going to try to ask him this. As one big man to another big man, for those who don't know, Cassie, I'm 6'7". Cassie said I believe he said he's like 6'5".
Yeah, I'm tall.
He's wanting to go deep into the Egyptian pyramids, deep into the tunnels, and try to get access to some alleged, secret technology that's there. Speaking from one man to a big man who knows some short ass women who are like 5'0" and had trouble walking around down there. How the hell does he plan to get in?
You're gonna have real problems. I think you can get the tallest part. I think I heard was, but you got to crawl. Wait, when you go through the front, I heard that's like you got to get like down like at least to 5. Let me see, probably 4 foot. Because those big stones is like what's going to be the entranceway, and then something opens up with the steps because the steps they go up, but it's like the headspace. Then you got bigger up there, but then when you're trying to get through those other rooms, you got to step down again. You got to go through like the size of the stones. See, that's what I would really like as an interior map of the pyramid. Because I think that I could figure out whatever because I'm, like I said, I'm good with puzzles and stuff like that with the clouds and figuring out that shit to really feel what it is and what, I'm saying, what's hidden in there that they haven't found. Because I think that if something hits that light correctly in those holes that they have, because I think because they showed a graph of there could be water up under it because it was like a nuclear generator. Now, if it's generating power, they even though they said like the moon was moved here, what was they generating power for? Okay, was that to open a porthole for another whatever the ones that was associated with the pyramids? Because that's not just Anunnaki, because that's progenitor race, progenitor alien race that did that. So who were they? Who were they that gave the Anunnaki, or who's their grandfather? That's a good question. Who is the grandfather to the Greys? Who what was their genetic line, and how did it begin? Are they from the beginning of where the super giant hand of God constellations come from? Or are they the children of that? Or, what is it? That's the kind of questions I'll be coming up with.
Here's the thing.
Don't know, though. You never know.
Well, no, here's the thing. There's discussions about this. What people don't realize, I think this is something I've noticed, is that people try to glorify, deify these ET beings, and maybe just for sake of argument, some of them are the basis of some of the gods throughout our history and throughout the various pantheons. I mean, you look at the description of some of the Nordic gods, and you look at some of the descriptions of Lyran descendants, you gotta be wondering, is Thor a Pleiadian, as an example? But they're they may have more shit figured out, but they're trying to understand things themselves. They're willing to share what they've figured out because they believe it's not until we pull our heads out of our asses and start working together that we're actually going to find some answers.
See, and that's crazy that you think about the cosmic prejudice. Like us as humans already, well, most other humans besides, people of different colors and stuff like that, but we all have prejudices. But how are we gonna be, if we can't get rid of that here, how do we can deal with different aliens that this one might be ugly because he's long with 4 fingers and blue. This one might be smell funny because, so that's what I said. When we have that concept, like Dakota was saying, when we get rid of them concepts that us as humans still have, then we're able to be in contact and communication with some of these beings that are going to be different from us. So me being one of them beings, I would want to be in contact with someone that's been through the same type of struggle that I would be getting ready to go through. So being an Anunnaki teacher, I invite them to come speak with me, just like the same way that you've had them coming talking to me or coming getting in communication with me, which, I'm glad because like I tell you, that a lot of people, like this might be this for this person and this might be that for that person, but to each his own. Each of us are on a different walk. And a lot of people don't, get that, you have to play your position in everything. I have my position as a light bringer and truth seeker in this whole big arena as a human being. Because I don't know how many human beings, I think it's 8 point something now. Last time, man, it seemed like yesterday I checked and it was 4 point something billion human beings. Now it's 8 point something yesterday. I'm like, I ain't had no kids since the 90s. I don't know who's doing this. And I'm looking for an astral girlfriend. Like Dakota's wife is fine as heck. And if he shows you guys that picture, don't look at her face because it's like looking at Prince. You get hypnotized. Just a joke, y'all. Y'all ever seen the Jamie Foxx TV thing? Huh?
Yeah. Hey, I know the reference, but now here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
This is why I also say that when the shit comes out, we're gonna have to basically rewrite all the books because let's brush aside negativity and people thinking that they're building themselves up, building all this career around this. No, let's set that bullshit aside for right now.
Mumbo jumbo.
Historically speaking, humans have always sucked listening.
Yes, and that's crazy.
One-on-one conversation. Exactly. And I'll say it. How much of what we know in all these different religious texts, all these different mythologies, is because of a long-ass game of telephone? I mean, they say that, some of the old demigods, say like Hercules and Thor as examples, they may have just been regular dudes who happened to do some really cool shit and somehow talk of intermingling with gods took place.
Right. Yeah, they did. I mean, what was considered gods, even though they were angels, but considered gods. I mean, they couldn't correct the angels, shining ones, the Watchers were associated with the Anunnaki, which are associated with the pictures that they see back from even the Catholic Church and all of them, like the one with the lady, with the Mother Mary, the picture of the UFO in the background, the guy standing there and he's looking up at, like how my profile shows, like right there, it shows like he's looking at, pointing at it. So that was telling us, look to the skies. So you had, that's that multidimensional art where one is just showing you the Mother Mary, one showing you this man sitting up there looking at the UFO. So you got the visualization of the UFO, and then the man's pointing. So it's like look to the sky. So they're sending you in a direction, and just like the Anunnaki stelas that you see, and the especially the artwork, and that's what Damon Barry was trying to tell us, to be aware that when these multidimensional art was put together, even through Pharaoh times and Egyptian times, that if they would sit there, they was put there for us not for those people of that generation. It was put there to last on those stones to get to us, because the time of that is happening now. And then, like I said, no one's looking at the skies. No one, because we have so many other distractions going on planet Earth right now. Let me come back on. I was eating. I didn't want to be eating in front of everybody because I didn't cook enough for everybody out there. And you see how big Dakota is. I can't. He's a polar bear, and I don't know what he eats. I mean, I'm on a healthy kick. Look at me.
I just had an extra large pizza before you started calling me with bread bites. All to myself. All to myself.
Oh, that's I would do that.
As someone who doesn't have a gallbladder and has issues with his pancreas, that's a dumb move on my part, and that's why I got to drink like this.
Yeah, I seen you putting it down, hydrating.
Yeah, because I ate too much, and it's hurting me.
It looks like Candy just said something. I'm not sure if she's got the link or not, or how to send it to her. Candace Fowler. If you can send her a link, I don't know, because I'm only down to one. For some reason, my other device been locked up, Dakota. I've been having, I don't know if it's like surges, electrical surges, kind of going through here that make no sense. You know, some of those things that be like, what the hell? And one, I've been, y'all keep talking about this blue light. And I kind of key in on the filament sometime, and now I just kind of focusing in on this blue light. The more I do that, it's like the more I'm starting to see that blue light just jump around to anything glass or magnetic. So I'm just I'm thinking of some type of theory that can explain this. Like this mug is moving like ping pong ball, jumping around the room sometime. And it might be that I just keyed on that part of the light, you know?
Yeah.
How y'all doing out there? My name is Minister K.I., and I have witnessed some things because of my CE5 protocol, Stephen Greer's, and plus some of the sound protocols that Dakota has done. And I hope he plays some tonight so that, some new sounds and different things, because they're awesome. I've been doing some new healing sessions using the frequency sounds all the way down to the pineal gland, to awakening, spiritual awakening. There's a few of them there, and Dakota designed some himself. So I hope you guys, if you guys do get a chance to see this or see the ad that's going to be out there on Facebook, come check us out. Dakota's part of what we're doing here, and we're here to heal. We're here to help. Go ahead, Dakota. What was you saying, bro?
No, I was just, well, it's a good thing you did that an hour and 17 minutes into this, because I just kind of hit record and just let everybody just start talking, no proper introductions or anything like that.
Yes.
But it goes to show how fascinating and how much to this discussion there is. There's no way to squeeze it into like a 1 hour little segment. But that's also kind of why I want to do, try to have some sort of abduction support group format, but that eventually shows people that, this stuff ain't bad. Because when I started coming out a bit more about my situation where there's a little girl who's saving my life, and there's this beautiful woman that's saying she's my wife, and I'm just like, why the hell did you wipe my memory? Damn!
Why are you giving back to me? I'll put my sports cream on this while I'm off camera, Dakota.
I understand. I understand. You do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'm here. But why wipe my? That's what I want to say. Like, okay, if I was abducted, and why wouldn't they want me to know it? That's what I don't get. Why, is there a certain reason, or is it traumatic, or did they play with me or something? Did they, what? I don't get that.
That's what I was getting into. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Minister, but you don't necessarily hear a whole lot of stories about demons saving lives.
Nope, at all.
Thank you. When I started coming out about the situation with my daughter, people were like, "Oh, that's probably a demon screwing with you." Huh?
Why I gotta be the demon screwing with me? I think they screwing with me.
And it's just like, it's like the situation with Kalina. I mean, there's so much misinformation. People don't just sit down and actually listen or try to observe what's going on. Like Cassidy just said, the second we think we've actually got a decent hit on something, we just stop there. We don't go exploring further. And if, by all honesty, it's going to be a situation where more and more people are going to be experiencing this type of stuff, either because, the more sci-fi based topics, the into ETs and all that, that kind of, fuels the imagination. It happens every time. Or because they hear other people start talking about their stories, it goes and start triggering something in their brain. They're like, wait a sec, why does that sound like it happened? Why does it sound familiar? Like I've seen something. And you're asking,
Almost like
why are they
deja vu.
mind? Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's like, why are they, wiping memories? Even if it's just a casual, hey, how's it going? My name is Zeplar. I'm from where what you know as the Pleiades. It's just like, okay, there's so many elements to this. Like, what the hell's going on? That's why I want to try to go into a support group that actually does something to help people grab control of the situation. Because if they realize this is something that where not only do they have personal validation that yes, okay, they're not going entirely crazy, this stuff's happening, but they can use this as an opportunity to learn, maybe we can do even more good than just, I don't know, like Obama's production company doing a documentary about Betty and Barney Hill.
Hmm. Who was the Trent lady? Because she's got my name, and there was a white lady, something Trent, that I don't know if it was an abduction or she seen UFO, or there's a Trent. Can you pull that up on your computer there? There's somebody named Trent, and it goes back to UFOs. I think it was she was before Roswell, and her name is she. I think she was. I'm not sure if she was a housewife or she was a worker, because I'd seen it on this UFO thing, because it was talking about. And if you can, I'd like to hear about the Eisenhower treaty that he did, because people said that treaty got broke, and that's an interesting conversation I would have liked to ask Cassidy. So let's see if Cassidy, I'm trying to get ahead of you before I talk to you.
Cassidy already bails on us. There's probably someone you can actually talk to, because I know she has a YouTube channel, and it's Laura Eisenhower.
Right,
well,
now,
yeah,
you
you
see
filling
this
yourself
glow
up.
right here, Dakota? Do you see this glow off this shirt right here? That's strange right here. It's like I try to cover this hand. Okay, this is my right hand. And here's my left hand. They won't let me cover it. It's like the camera is, you see, the magnetic self the camera, but it's pushing my hand. Okay, now it's got control of my hand. Right here. I'm trying to squeeze my hand, but it won't let me, like it's a ball. Because you can see the brightness right there, and that's, let me go. It's got a hold in my fingers. I believe that's that light being that I'm talking about. You got it on tape right there, bro. Because I seen that, because look at this side. See, my hand won't let me go right. Okay, there. Look at this side. It's not as bright as that side. It's nothing changing in the light. See, look, I'm moving around. Why wouldn't it change off the light? See? Oh, oh my God, that mic is heavy. All right, come on, get off. You see it right here? See if I can get it on my hand and off my shirt, because I can feel it heavy on my chest right there. See it? Come on. That's what I keep telling you, the iridescent of that light. Do you see it, Dakota? All right. I want to see if I don't have it on my hands. Yeah. Oh, my ears are popping. Oh, it feels freaking hot right there. It's freaking hot. It's down there. It's moving. Usa. I don't know. See the heat signature? I can see it through the camera. Right here now. Yeah, there it is, trying to hide on the shirt. See the heat signature right here? Girl, if you could put me in any type of other filter that would show high depth and heat or something, because I believe this is going to show, because you see the brightness right there. That's doesn't know it doesn't go off when I turn. See, if it was just the light, it wouldn't stay right there. Correct.
Well,
And I'm feeling the heat.
you gotta make sure
right
you aren't talking about the little bit of glare that's part of the shirt's design, are you?
Right. No, it's not part of the design. It's right here, and I could feel the heat right here, right where it's at. Though, like I said, it's just not the brightness of this light. That's where that's debunked at. It's just bright right there right now because something's right there. You can see the light coming from there to back behind me, but right here I can feel heat. I can feel something. I'm trying to get it off of there because it's fucking hot. Okay. So excuse my language, y'all. Yeah, see how bright that is right there? Right there. Well, do you want to play any of those C5s that I sent you, Dakota? What you got going on over there, sir?
Not just trying to see what's on your end.
Hmm?
Just trying to see what you got going on your end, man.
Oh, it's the usual paranormal activity, just the usual.
It just things grow up in me that people can't see. You know, just the usual. Been there.
That's what I tell them, man. When you deal with paranormal activity, you know what you're dealing with. And, know how to ask for help when you need help. Like that, like I said, everything that you were talking about with the concepts of making it toward where if it's seen that that you know the right people to get in touch with in case, say, if you had a haunting or if you had a spiritual thing that's just real confusing, because a lot of people are, it was like, what's the Olympic girl, that mental health is one of the big things that's going on now. because you know people don't understand that you can get mentally abused, and you know some people just pray. There's you got the wolves, and you got to pray. And I hate to say it, some of y'all make yourself pray because so like someone got upset that I said that I told somebody, I'm not gonna point no, but I told somebody that the group has a lot of cognitive dissonance. Now, wouldn't that be me, myself, and I too, if I'm part of that group? Saying that nobody can break cognitive dissonance because it's the way that we were taught. Unless you go and relearn, start from scratch on a different planet with whole new concepts and just scratch the whole universe that we live in. That's the only way that you cannot have cognitive dissonance, because it's the way that we've been taught from birth on how we handle all situations. The situation, because we're on birth, that's the reason why you can throw a baby in water when it's born and it can swim, because it's been in that fetal sac, and that's all it's been doing was floating around up in there. So it's used to that because this is a water world. Same thing with photosynthesis. The sun makes everything that is a part of photosynthesis grow, even us. Same with the way with expansion. Everything in the universe is expanding. That's why you feel like your head sometimes is creaking, cracking, and your brain is getting bigger, because your brain is one of the main things part of the universe. It's tied directly into it. But that's another story for a Dakota show. He did this to me, y'all. It's not how you playing. My fingers don't even want to let me point the way. There you go. No, this way. See, I don't get it, man. My hands don't even go right in
Here,
this
we'll just dance everybody around a little bit.
Somebody try to get in there. Who is that? Uh-oh, he's putting me through the time machine, y'all. Watch out. Uh-oh, my voice changed again.
You go down.
You get me scared in there. So did you see any of the video shoots? I mean, video stuff I sent you? I sent one with Queen Drip Drip Salsa Water. I can't remember what her stage name is, but my sister's back here over now. We was doing frequency healing, and I forgot the other one. But I had some massage stones and some other things. So like I said, we're keeping everything based on healing. So if you're in Houston, Texas, hey, come look me up. I also do massages. I've done a lot of things, man. When you got your own business and you got your own money, you're always thinking about trying to figure out how to invest your money. I used to buy so many different start from home stuff. My girl back then, she's like, Benny, did you get another? Yeah, I'm gonna make this money. I didn't buy this for, it's crazy. I'm silly like that if y'all didn't know. Yes,
Hey,
Dakota, what do you think?
I'm not judging. I've done the same thing.
You guys, he says that, but I think Dakota's trying to get me committed on a space Looney Tune farm, because he's got me going in circles, huh?
Yeah, you're the one starting to look like Bugs Bunny right now, man.
Wait a minute, man. Bugs Bunny, my parents, they used to call me Tweety Bird when I was little, because I had you see how my big round head is? And I was yellow as heck. So they used to, Tweety, my aunts come over, come here, Tweety, and pinch him, like, get out of here. That's why y'all yeah. Now you calling me names. Y'all hear this American world, they always picking on the old man. I'm going to get my cane and hit one of them. Jokes, people. These are jokes.
I know, it's all
Only
jokes. I don't know. I seriously do not understand why. I'm not trying to dig up shit, but I just honestly don't know why or what the fuck happened for all this shit to stir up. But I'm trying to brush it off. I'm trying to brush it off as holidays. If y'all getting bitchy, talk to me when it's the new year.
Right, and on that, bro. Let me say this so while we're on your show, man. even to your producers and all your followers out there. Believe me, this guy right here, he's been awesome to me. You know, I don't know who wants to take credit. That's why I keep telling people that, you know, on this last, you know, NDE, you know, near death experience, Dakota was, you know, if he wouldn't, he told me before I went that I should go get medical treatment in the area. So, you know, and like I said, he saved my life, and he's been a good friend before, since, after, and even better. So, you know, he even didn't want to do this show here until I had time to heal. So with the, you know, I'm just telling you the quality of people that, and that makes a difference to me. And, you know, he's not the type to go and, you know, blur and broadcast. You hear how he's using eggshells now on how he's just, you know, talking about the situation, because, you know, it's about, with him and I, like we've talked all the time, that, you know, we're going to have to continue to bring the type of subject that really that inspired me with Dakota. If y'all don't know me, I get inspired and then I go to work with it. I take my ideas, I run with them, and that's how I can help people. Because you don't have to give money sometimes to help people. I mean, your actions and deeds speak louder than words. So that's why I try to lead by action and deed. I mean, if some people, like I told you, I've been controversial my whole life. So don't try to change me. I'm not going to change. I'm your friend. You know, I'm your knight when you need me. I'm your defender. You know, same way with, you know, Dakota. And some of us, you know, that do certain things get, you know, criticism is one thing, but, you know, destruction of character is another. And especially when you're talking about a minister and someone that's giving people a chance to use his platform and his followers and all of that for people to use for free. You got me messed up. Now, if I had an ongoing show and y'all was on it, I know how YouTube is, but still, I don't understand the help in that to help others be able to come on the show and tell their story, and how that's awesome to me, without being a minister, and just what I do for just trying to talk to people, because that's, you know, this way he can just talk to a lot more people because he works all the time, you know, and then when he finds time, see, because it's what, 5:01 here in Houston. So where are you at, Dakota?
I'm in Idaho. It's 4:01 for me.
Who you calling a hoe? I ain't no Idaho. I'm a Kansas City hoe
No,
that's
I said
in Houston.
Idaho.
You in the hole, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why you got astral kids everywhere. You shouldn't have been an astral hoe. That's the problem. I'm telling you, astral wife on you, and she gonna cook for your big ass. Okay, I'm sorry. Show me something on TV and I'll shut up over there, man. Give me a video, a picture. What do you know, what's on your mind today, Dakota? I mean, it's always all right, like picking your brain. So saying you want to show a CD, or, you know, what was you going to talk about? You saying me something about Dr. Greer had something new going on.
See, I jump around to so much shit. I don't even remember. I
Well,
know he recently he's filming a new documentary, and
well, I sent, yeah. So I sent you some
yeah,
footage on some CE5. So if he's in,
I,
feel free to send them one of those, you know, for what I sent you for you to do whatever you want to with it, so it can be seen. And
no, well, let's see, part of the, abduction, support group thing I want to do is that I'm trying, I'm trying to get, my company's first big project is a documentary, you know, titled "We Are Light: Ascension to the Age of Space." And basically, I'm trying to make it to where it don't matter who you are, where you're from, you can jump on this and tell a little bit of your story. Because my philosophy when it comes to the ET situation, my belief is that something is coming. And if you don't necessarily believe it, you think it's all bullshit, people watching too many sci-fi movies. That's fine. That's your thing. But at the end of the day, there's still some very important lessons to all of this.
Yes.
And it's not about one's career. It's not about this person trying to be more famous than this person, or this person trying to, say that this person's doing that stuff, or faceless idiots, trying to, leave mean remarks on YouTube, but not, they can't even bother to show their face or show their name because they don't want people to call them out on their bullshit. It's like, no, we're not going to get anywhere doing this, and I don't care who you are. It's like, unless you're the Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos of the world and you got your own private spaceship to get off this planet, we're all screwed if it goes sideways. Anyway, so now if you want me to play some of this these videos you sent me before you come on, I can see if we can try see if it'll behave for us. It's like, no, if you want me to try to play the videos that you sent me before we went on, I can see if bring it up and see if it'll play nice for us.
Okay. I mean, did you get a chance to look at a few of them? Because I know I sent them right before we got started because I'm not sure on one or two. I know the ones with the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star that's on my channel is it starts with a black and white picture, and then I think I'm looking at the moon and I'm walking around the corner from here. And then I sent you a few with the with Erica when she did her CE5 down on Kirkwood Bissonnet here in Houston. And there's a gentleman that we call Pharaoh that's down there, and everybody was being disruptive. Like it was like the thing. It's like it seems like that. When it comes time, or I'm talking sometimes down there, and people with them loud mufflers just seem to just, going down the street like, man, like just so frustrated. Like, why they got this loud noise when I'm trying to talk or trying to preach or, what are they really doing? I got one of those minds. It's like, what's the real reason? Yeah. See, now look at the cloud formations there. See, look at that dark area, and then go down from that dark area, just where you was at. See, you can see all type of facial structures in the sky. And if you go to the left again, the other direction, yeah, that way. You're going across. The other one, yeah, that one. Like that thing right there. See that, like a froggy face with like a snake at the top of the head, like alligator-ish in the face, and those two eyes, and one of the eyes has like a snake figure coming up out of it with like the crown serpent, like on this shirt right here, like on this shirt I have on, like that crown serpent is sitting off the top there, and even the head is up there like on what's my other shirt? It's the ISIS on there. Because it shows that little head that sits at the top. It looks like some kind of little African bug or something that has eyes. So it's kind of strange. So that's a hit. I'm gonna take my medicine. If you're gonna pull up one of those videos, go ahead and show it. I see that. I just need to run downstairs and take my meds real quick.
All right, you gonna go ahead and get this set up.
Okay. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right back. So when I get to moving around, the feeds start glitching. You have now entered a dimension of the specialist of strange. See, my fingers don't even go the right way, man. Going that way, it's supposed to be that way. You guys probably see I got a new show called My Time Machine, and it's Dakota's fault because I'm trying to find my way back out of the time machine. He left me in 3031, beyond common area. It ain't even called common. It's called beyond common area, and I'm hungry and need some coffee, and it's Dakota's fault. Him. Where's he at? See, why you not pointed to? Why can't my fingers won't even let me point in the right direction to where you are? Over here. There he is. All right, go that way. That way. Got his light beings over here hanging out with me, and thank God they're hanging out with me. Here's my, my massage. My client went to sleep after going through a frequency session, so I have to take get some coffee. Cause like I said, something overtakes me. It just makes me comfortable, and it's like just wants me to lay down and get comfortable and stop being excited, kid, and like that. You hear the sound change. I'm hearing Dakota actually that I'm really feeling something kind of jumping in and out with me here because I can feel it, bro. That I thought it was me, just kind of just going in and out of sleep, but now, yeah, I feel the energy again, just like that last time when something, but it's calm. Like everybody was thinking it was a negative reaction because it's like I know that my body, because my nerves can feel it. I'm getting chills now, like something's trying to overtake me. I got strong headache right here, on this right side, but I don't know what you're seeing or what you might see behind me because it's always something strange in the camera there, but it's definitely something pulling on this chair right here. So I got going in the background here. I'm playing sound frequencies.
That's why you're acting funky.
But
That's
I
why
had
you're
the
acting
volume
funky.
on. Volume off though. This one is positive energy flow, healing body, mind, and spirit, clean mind. See, that's what I told you. We was doing massage and a mind clearing for Erica, and like I said, that might be what's kind of really mellowed me out. And something I believe, I'm always thinking of something positive coming, but something just kind of feel it's like a real gentle like energy. It feels like my mom is what comes to my mind. It smells like fresh soap. Hmm. I mean, well, so we're gonna do another frequency sound research again, a short one, or
No, I've shown you all the ones I've made. Any? Catch with us next time, ladies and gents.